Check 1 2, check 1 2. Hey, family, I'm going to give it a few minutes. I need y'all to share this everywhere for me. Share this on Facebook. I'm already start sharing it. Come on, let's get this started. Let's get this started. I mean, this is going to be very enlightening. I'm telling you, I need everybody to share this. I need everybody to share this. I mean, share this, share this, share this, man. Y'all going to be very pleasantly pleased and enlightened. I guarantee you. So let's take 5 minutes and share it. Let's take 5 minutes and share it. 5 minutes and share it. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Y'all sharing it? Y'all sharing it? Check 1 2, check 1 2. All right. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. I think I want everybody to see this, so I'm about to load this up on Facebook too. I didn't put in a lot of work just to make a point. You know what I mean? Make a point. Let me take this. Let me see something. Get my camera. I ain't even got my camera set up. I've been pulling these receipts so much. I ain't even got my camera set up, so. Anyway, peace and love, family. Get me some more light up in here. Check 1 2. We about to get busy. And I ain't even gonna go that deep tonight. I ain't even gonna go that deep tonight. I'm gonna just refute some of this stuff that we seen on the internet. Peace, family. I need everybody to share this. I ain't even gonna go that deep. I'm just taking a break. Just to do what I do. All right, let me get on Facebook real quick. Get on Facebook. That's where this conversation started at. What up, Crypto? Yeah, we over here right now. We over here. When we get busy all around the board. We over here now. All right, we get busy all around the board. Let me get this. Oh man, where my camera at? Hold up. My camera. There we go. My camera at? What are you doing? Bam. There we go. Looking for my other camera. All right. That's right. You will get blocked over here. This is not Moorish World TV. I don't even want to take no shorts over here. All right, let me just put this in there. I'm about to start in a second. Y'all gonna appreciate it, I'm sure. But y'all might, oh my bad.
What should I write?
Let me play some music while we waiting.
How can I tell you how
Check.
What should I write?
Let me talk to him.
What can I say?
Can I talk to him?
How can I tell you how much?
Talk to him. Y'all been tripping lately. I know you starting to hate me, cause I'm exposing y'all for simply dozing off, sleeping at the wheel, acting like you real. You got my profit on the back burner with the oatmeal. I bring them to the front, and then you wanna front, talking all tough, but this ain't what you really want. I'm for peace, but my scimitar's sharp now. I represent the Moors that put that old cart down. The car jagging off, got you sounding mad soft.
Check 1 2,
it's
check
just
1
an idle
2.
shrine, Neil fight you out your
Let
mind.
me make sure
To
people
go
on-
against me, the Sultan of the West, stand down or I will put your weak knowledge to the test. You better ask about it. Back in my last life, I would run up on you 45 mask tight. I'm the revealer now. I take the mask off. I tell the truth and let the truth flash y'all.
What should I write?
Let me talk to him.
What can I say?
Can I talk to him?
How can I tell you how much
Let me talk to him. Oh,
What should I write?
can I talk to him?
What can I say?
Talk to him.
How can I tell you how much
I know some real elders, you know some old folks. I know some serious Moors who ain't no joke. They don't be YouTubing, they don't be Facebooking,
Alright,
they
let me
don't
put
be
this in the
clout
comments.
chasing. But yeah, they looking. They see you demonstrating, sounding like it's 85.
Come on, I need everybody to come in. I need everybody to share this. I ain't gonna do this all the time. I got 2 shows coming up on this.
And the whole body man slow. Yeah, that's a cheap shot.
I'm about to-
And
I'm
it
about to
might
get
cost
busy.
you. If you ain't in your lessons, then I probably lost you. You ain't a grand nothing. You define what? It still amazes me. All the people lined up and fell in line. Blind leading the blind. Got us fall behind. Confusing 29, but I'm wide awoke. Oh yeah, I solved the puzzle. Man, they didn't love the prophet. So how can they love you? Oh,
What should I write?
let me talk to him.
What can I say?
Let me talk to him.
How can I tell you how much
I'ma talk to him.
What should I write?
Let me
I'm
talk
just waiting
to
for everybody to get in.
What can I say?
Can I
I'm just
talk
trying to
to
share
him?
this a little bit.
How
It don't make sense if it's just
See, they tripping, right? See, they
If the
really
target
tripping
don't get hit.
because I'm telling them that they've been hearing whispers about. They get mad because I'm saying everything that they want to say, but scared to say. They scared to ask their grand sheik. They scared to ask their divine ministers. They scared to ask the head of their temple. Matter of fact, they scared to ask their supreme grand leader about everything that I talk Cause I'm exposing y'all. I bring it to the front. All right, fam, we about to get started. Whoa. Check 1 2, check 1 2. So, family, this presentation here tonight is to address. This presentation here tonight is to address some of the misinformation that is going on the internet. Brother Sharif Anael Bey. Mullins Bey, I need you to share this. I need Nazarene of Bethlehem to share this. If you on Facebook, let me make sure Facebook is public. I'm going to keep it on Facebook, but people can come in here and actually watch it. I got the link. Share it in all your little spaces. Let me make sure it's public. Okay, we good on Facebook. Can everybody hear me good? Everybody can hear me good? All right. So let me give people a breakdown of what's going on. First of all, family, let me welcome you to the MST of A, affectionately known as the Noble Temple Podcast channel. And this is dedicated to everything Moorish Science Temple of America. And as you notice, lately I've been putting up a lot of videos, not as much as get myself comfortable, not as much as I could, but I put up a lot of videos. And the reason why I've been putting up a lot of videos is because it's time for us to teach this thing like it's supposed to be taught. With that being said, if you on Facebook, I'm asking you to share this. Share it far and wide, because I'm about to bust down some myths. So one of the things is that Sharif Anael Bey claims that Prophet Noble Drew, of all things, lately he claimed that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a Mason. If Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a Mason, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is people justifying these alternative schools of thought and put them above the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teachings, their clandestine organizations, their fraternities, and they obligated to the edicts of these organizations. And many people ask the question, what happened to the Moorish Science Temple of America? What happened to the Moorish Science Temple of America? And one of the problems is people give their resources to other places besides the Moorish Science Temple of America. Not only do they give their resources to other places besides the Moorish Science Temple of America, that they hold these other organizations up higher than the Moorish Science Temple of America. And in fact, many of these organizations only use the Moorish Science Temple of America to bring people over into their organization for whatever reason. I don't know why. But anyway, we're about to get started, right? So I'm going to clear up quite a few things. I'm going to clear up quite a few things tonight. But as I start off, I'm going to play a few videos first. That's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to play a few videos and I'm going to respond to them. All right? I'm going to respond to them, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back and play a few and show some receipts. So one of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a brother by the name of Sheikh 7. One thing I want to say about Sheikh 7 is he treads the line real carefully. He talks double sometime in these presentations, but he treads the line real carefully. But nevertheless, I'm going to deal with that too. Now, one of the things what I mean by he treads the line real carefully, I want you to hear this statement right here that he says about a Muslim.
First and foremost, you got a lot of people who say they know Islam, they Muslims, etc. Right? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna say this right here. If it wasn't for Muslims, there would be no craft.
So as you hear that, he said if it wasn't for no Muslim, there wouldn't be no craft. So if I don't know. He didn't elaborate on that, so I'm really not going to dig on that too much. But let me give you my interpretation of that. If there was no Muslim, there wouldn't be no craft. But why would a Muslim, as the revealer of the light, would create something that would conceal the light in such a ways that the European has adopted it? But I don't know where he was going with that. If it wasn't no Muslim, there wouldn't be no craft. Maybe he's saying that they adopted some of the Muslim teachings, rituals, or whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, if we're going to say that, then why don't the Muslim control the system of information and not being in that position where they're going to get permission to dispense the information? It doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? They're going to Europeans to get permission to get a charter to dispense the information originally. So I don't know. I guess we would have to talk about that in the future. But without the Muslim, there wouldn't be a craft. Keep it pure Muslim. This is my take on it. But like I said, he's treading the line, so it's hard to answer. So if I'm viewing what he's saying in the wrong light, then I apologize for that. But I'm just going to touch on a few of these things. Now, one of the things that he says is this.
Be what you know.
That's right.
He says this.
It's too many people reading pieces of paper. They're reading things off of paper.
Now
they're memorizing things.
The truth. That's right.
But and they think they know something.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing about experience.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing is about experience.
So Sheikh
when
7
you
says,
open out your mouth and you say, "Oh,"
Sheikh says that knowing is about experience. You can't just read something and know something. And to a degree and context, I understand what he's saying. But also, on the flip side of that, Sharif contradicts that one where he says that, let me see if I can pull it up. He says this.
And again, I wasn't officially a Rosicrucian, but I studied the Rosicrucian work, studied Max Heimel's work, right? Then, later became a member of the craft.
Listen
right?
to this.
But I was a long time student of craft material long before I ever joined.
Listen to this.
But again, now this is what prompted me, and this is something that Brother Sheikh 7 was saying earlier. I remember having a visit by a particular lodge's investigative team popped up at my apartment, right? And they're looking at my books, and they're like, "Why do you have this? And you shouldn't have that." And da 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 da. I'm going up one side of them and down the other. I know their craft better than most of them. Now, the head of the investigative team, the elderly brother, was just sitting there smiling the whole time.
You hear that? You hear that?
And then he finally says, "Listen, y'all leave him alone."
Sharif said, I know their craft better than them. And he's not even a part of the lodge. But according to Sheikh 7, he says that
experience.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing is about experience. When you open out your mouth and you say, "Oh, you know masonry, you know this, you know that," what you're saying is you've had the experience.
Alone.
Let me break
Then
that.
he said this.
Let me break down what you're hearing. Which Sheikh 7 saying that if you read a book, then you really don't know because you don't have the experience. With Sharif R.Neal Bey saying these are supposed to be both Masons. He says that
I'm going up one side of them and down the other. I know their craft better than most of them. Now, the head of the investigative team, the elderly brother, was just sitting.
And so this is what I mean about masonry. There is no standardized. I mean, it is because Sharif is of a different, I guess, lodge than. I'm gonna just bust this all up. I want to get to the good part. Let's just leave this right here. But nevertheless, let's just keep it moving. That's just one point I wanted to point out about that. That one says, "Oh no, you can't know this unless you experience it, and you can't get it from a book." And one say, "Oh yes, you can. I know it better than them." And okay, whatever the case may be. One of the another things that and I'm gonna leave Sheik 7 alone once I get to this part. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave Sheik 7 alone once I get to this part, because I'm gonna let him talk a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Because the more he talk, the more that, you know, maybe I can get some clarity of where he coming from. But anyway, let's think about this. Listen to this.
But I want the Sheik to answer it for me, because I don't know. Islam Sheik, I want you to answer this question for me, because I don't know. If I was to set up a lodge today, or if you had a lodge, could I rent a office space from your lodge without being a part of the lodge?
No.
Now, the reason I asked that is because Anael, the first Supreme Grand Sheik of the 7 Eel, that's who I'm looking for right there. Okay, I'm still honor to all Eels and Bays who will.
Okay, that's Anael Bey. He's talking to Sheik 7, and he asking Sheik 7 if y'all don't know what's going on, Anael is the first appointed Supreme Grand Sheik of the Moorish Temple of America. I teach that, you know, that the Masons not only tried to overthrow Prophet Noble Drew Ali, but they also was a part in his transitioning. And so what happens is that Sheik 7 claims that Anael was a Mason. Again, I wouldn't have no problem with that at all. At all. The problem I have is that they throw stuff out there and just talking. And I'm about to show some receipts, but check this out. Listen to this one more time. Now remember what he just said, that you can't rent a hall if you ain't a Mason. But then check this out.
And for many years, I have been taught that Anael, before Prophet Noble Drew Ali, was an insurance agent and he was doing successful things in life. And when he got with the Prophet, he never went back to those ways of life. But I'm sharing this because you have a lot of people saying that there's no record or documentation of Anael ever being in the lodge. Well, your evidence is, how can you have an office space inside of the lodge if you're not associated or affiliated, right? Would that be the terms we use? Help us out with this, because I don't know. I've never been in the lodge. I know you've been through there and you threw it away or whatever you did.
First and foremost, you
Better read them notes.
couldn't step foot
Okay.
inside of a lodge if you're not a Mason.
Period.
Period. Now, there are times when there are exceptions. However, it will be doing a Masonic meeting of some sort.
Okay.
But you wouldn't have an office inside of a lodge, nor be doing business out of a lodge if you're not a Mason.
Okay.
Y'all hear what he just said?
So for those who don't understand that, go look and see where Anael.
Listen, I'm not even going to look and see where Anael office was. This is how confident I am. I'm not even going to look, because it doesn't make a difference to me, because I already know the answer. You know what I mean? I don't know where Sheik 7 get that from or what boys club he was a part of. No disrespect intended. But listen, let me tell you something. One thing for sure and two things for certain. One thing for sure and two things for certain. He's just talking. And maybe he's just talking from his experience. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's talking from his experience. But his big brother Sharif should have said, time out. Ho, time out. Pause. Wait a minute. Stop, Sheik 7. You're talking too much. You're digging a hole for yourself. Cut it out. Because, in fact, that's one of the ways that Masonic temples raise money. And they have two ways. Let me just go back to this. Matter of fact, let me delete that one. Let me give you something real, a little bit more fresher for you. All right. Let me give you something more fresher for you. All right. No, let me give you something. Okay, yeah, let me. This is from the 1700s, early 1800s. While many thriving towns and cities have no general meeting place there for their citizens, yet others with less population and wealth drive ahead secure civic centers. Here is McGregor, Iowa, a town of 1,400 people, which wanted a community house. They found that they had a kind of a building that would cost $10,000 to $12,000. So they fixed up a deal with the Masonic order by which for a rental of $420 annually, they can get 2 floors in a Masonic building. Sound like they renting to any and everybody to me. Hold up. Let me go back to the beginning of this. Now I can get you the date on this paper if you need it. But I want to just clip. I've been clipping fast just so I can make my point. While many thriving towns and cities have no general meeting place for their citizens, yet other with less population and wealth drive ahead and secure civic centers. Here is McGregor, Iowa, a town of 1,400 people, which wanted a community house. They found that kind of building they would want would cost $10,000 to $12,000. So they fixed up a deal with the Masonic order by which for a rental of $420 annually, they could get 2 floors in a Masonic building for a community center. It is expected that to meet expenses by renting the hall for entertainments. Their new quarters are a hive of civic and social activities. During the week, they had these events, lectures, and rural sociology, sewing demonstrations, Conference of American Legion. Conference of the American Legion even up in there too. But yeah, they similar to that. Anyway, banquet for the railroad men, dancing party for mutual training school, party for children. When a community center is provided, it stimulates all forms of useful activity. What Sheik 7 is talking about, I have no clue. I have no clue when he says that if you're not a Mason, you cannot rent from a Mason unless you are a Mason. That doesn't make any bit of sense when we all we got to do, this is the problem when people don't do research. They just start talking. But hey, this is the wrong place to talk because I'm going to back everything I say with receipts. Rental rates for parlors, kitchen, and lawn, Masonic Hall. All right. Masonic Hall parlors, 588 Rondo Street, may be rented for weddings, receptions, cards, or dinner parties, etc. Afternoons for $4, evenings for $6. Large room for large meetings. So they're providing a service for people for lodges, outside the lodges, anybody. This is why it's in the newspaper as an advertisement. I don't know what Sheik 7 talking about. That Meliel, this is why I say I'm not even going to address the fact whether Meliel is I'm not even going to address the fact whether if Meliel is a Mason or not. That is immaterial right now. I mean, that is immaterial right now. I mean, oh yeah, we about to turn this up. That is immaterial right now. The facts of the matter is that what we should be looking at is proving that he's a Mason. That's what we should be looking at. We should be looking at proving he's a Mason, not some immaterial nonsense because he rented an office in the Masonic temple that he's a Mason. That is silly at best. That is not research. That is just, you're just grabbing for straws. And last thing but not least, one thing that Sheik 7 said is that he's a Mason. Let me get with this one. Let me prove this one. Let me give logic to this one real quick.
You're not a Mason no more, right?
Listen to this.
Just because I hope we don't go back.
It's like this.
Yes, sir.
When you are initiated, passed, and raised, that can't be taken from you. You either are active or inactive.
Inactive.
However, that doesn't make you a non-Mason. That just makes you an inactive Mason.
Listen how ridiculous this sounds. So the question is, basically, I think the question is going towards, is Anael always a Mason because he was a Mason or something of that sort? The weird thing about this question is, one of the weird things about this question is, Sheikh 7 is answering it in such a way saying that once you're a Mason, you will always be a Mason. You may be inactive, but you always a Mason. So, according to him, that if one is a Mason, one cannot denounce Masonry and move on. Because he never even addressed the concept of denouncing. The only thing he kept saying was, let me let it finish playing.
Which
Now,
so you still in some type of grace, or you still recognized as a fellow brother of the craft, right?
right, exactly. Long as you know, long as you still understand, you know, the grips, you still have the grip, you have the words, you have the tokens, you have the perfect points of your entrance, and you are proficient and can show yourself to be one, yeah, you will always be recognized as a brother.
Another question.
Now, let me say this. Let me say this once again. One thing that I want to say. The question is supposed to be, is Anael a Mason? Now listen to the answers. The reason he says that Anael is a Mason because he rented an office in a Masonic building. I don't even know if that's true, but let's just say it's true. So what? Number two, another reason he said that he's a Mason, he's always be a Mason, because once you are a Mason, you're going to be recognized as a brother as long as you know the grips, as long as you know the codes, as long as you know the whatever. What about when one says, man, I ain't with that no more. I'm rolling with the prophet. See, this is what I'm saying about Fugazi research. Fugazi research, people just get up and start talking. They don't show anything. They just start talking. And this is what put the Moorish Science Temple of America back in the Stone Age as it relates to competing with knowledge on the reality level. Because people just repeat anything. They say anything. It doesn't make sense. It says anything. Sheikh 7 also says that one of the things that he said, and I don't think I recorded it, but I'll say this. Let me make sure I don't want to touch any other points on this. He says that he's an adapt. And, yeah, I think I got that. So, yeah, he says he's an adapt. And when he talks to an adapt knows, and he knows that they're adapt. And it's the same thing. A Mason must talk to a Mason to know a Mason. Well, first of all, with all due respect, Sheikh 7 is not an adapt. With all due respect, he's not an adapt. In fact, I don't even think he know the basic of what an adapt is. Just because someone took you to some little made-up ritual and they say it's an adapt chamber doesn't make you an adapt. Let's be clear. I know it's going to hurt some feelings because I'm raw with it. And you can call it what you want. I'm just telling you raw. And I will face off with you or anybody, your Supreme Grand Sheikh or anybody, in a respectful manner. And I can prove to the public that you're not an adapt. Within 15 or 20 minutes, I can prove with receipts that you're not an adapt. I can prove that. And one thing about the adapt, we ain't got no secrets. We got everything sacred, and I don't mind putting it out to the public so everybody can see the truth for what it is. I will prove, if you want to step up to the plate, I will prove that you're not an adapt very simply. Very simply, I will prove that you're not an adapt. I will prove it emphatically, but you're not an adapt. And it makes me wonder, are you really a Mason? Because if you are I would love to see your dues paying cards for a lodge. I would love to see what chartered lodge that you're a part of. And let me say this real quick. I want everybody to know that I have no problem with Masons. In particular, so-called black, African American, whatever you call yourself. I have no problem with that. The issue is this. It's a defining moment in Moorish science. We're right there at a defining moment where we are able to bounce information off ignorance and teach people the real. What I mean bounce information off ignorance, we're able to bounce information off misinformation and teach people the real. It's a defining moment. Let me show you what I mean by a defining moment. This is a beautiful time in history, family. It's a beautiful time, and you should embrace it. Listen to this. This is a beautiful time. Listen to this.
Well, let me start for myself personally. I was initiated, pastor, and raised back in 1998. Long before I came.
Yeah, and we never knew it.
Long before I came.
Listen to this.
And we never knew it.
Now, before I came.
Yeah, and we never knew it.
You hear what Neal Bey just said? Now me and Neal Bey, we've been knuckling intellectually and mentally all over this internet for the last 3-4 years. But he just said something that just everybody ain't paying attention to. Sharif Anael Bey said that he's been raised since 1998. Before he came, let me make sure he said what he's saying.
Before I came.
Yeah, and we never knew it.
Now,
he was raised in 1998 before he even came in the Moorish Science Temple of America. I think that's what he's trying to say. Neal Bey says, the host says, and we never knew it. And that's a fact. But why now is Sharif Anael Bey raising the flag of Masonry? Because last week or the week before, I exposed that he was a Mason and a part of the same people that was in opposition to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. The only reason that he's going on these platforms now and waving the flag of Freemasonry is because 2 weeks ago, I exposed that he was a Mason. Now, his closer inner circle may have known he was a Mason. I knew he was a Mason, opposite of what Sheikh 7 say, that you must be in the lodge to know what's going on. I know he a Mason by the moves he make. I knew he was a Mason by his personality. I knew he was a Mason by the way that he moves. It was easy for me to tell. Could tell. From at least 6 months after I met Sharif, I knew he was a Mason, but he never told me that. And in fact, most people on the internet that have learned from Sharif Anael Bey never knew he was a Mason until 2 weeks ago. His inner circle may have known, but all the people that may have studied, they never knew that. No, he didn't. You know what he said? You got the wrong thing. And now, Orthodox Moor, this is what he said. Now, Orthodox Moor, I'm glad you came up. I'm going to show you what he said. All right? Stand clear. I'm going to show you what he said. He didn't say, he said he was a Mason. He never said he is. He said he was. I mean, he said he was with that. Let me show you what he said. Now he's saying he is. Let me find the file. Okay. If I can find the file. I played that clip not too long ago. But he never said he was. He said, no, he never said he is. He said he was. He was. Let me see. And he's actually doing the same thing. He's doing the same thing now. If I can find the clip. Let me see. If I can find the clip. I had the clip the other day. So yeah, Orthodox Moor, nah. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can't find it soon, I'm gonna just let it rock. Let me just look at it like this. Let me look at it like this. I think it's right here. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Praise the Lord. Here it is. This is what he said. See, this is what happened when
before coming to the Moorish Science Symbol of America, a little background on myself, I've been involved in a number of esoteric and secret organizations.
Should I play it again?
Before coming to the Moorish Science Symbol of America, a little background on myself, I've been involved in a number of esoteric and secret organizations.
So he never actually said that he was a Mason, but he was involved with a number
And secret organizations. And I was very astute.
Notice the language that he used. I was very astute.
Astute.
He's speaking with a forked tongue. So basically, he's alluding to the fact that he was, not is. Orthodox Moor, come on, brother. I'm going to fact check everything. Orthodox Moor, come on, say something. You just typed a lot of stuff up in there now. That was the same interview that you're talking about Wesley Muhammad. And he didn't say he was a Mason specifically. Recently, he said that he was a Mason specifically. In fact, he said he was a part of the Scottish Rite. I'm going to break that down for you at a later date. That's right. We fact check around here. That's right. We fact check around here. That's right. You don't get, see, the difference between Grand Sheik Tahanka Bey and them old school back and forths, Tahanka Bey is not going to just go back and forth and word you to death. I'm going to show you the receipts, and it's up to you to choose the truth or just let somebody tickle your ear. Let them tickle your ear. I'm going to show you the truth. All right? Are y'all with me so far? Put a 7 in the air if y'all with me so far. Y'all let them tickle your ear, because the whole time that these people talking, and y'all know that Grand Sheik, Brother Tahanka Bey, that I am bringing receipts. These people have never brought one receipt to the stuff that they're talking about yet. Anybody ever notice that? They just get up there and start talking, but they never bring a receipt. They never bring proof. In fact, Sharif got so crazy, say it doesn't even matter what you read. He said it don't even matter. It's how you understand. Something goofy he said. Can somebody send that to my inbox? Something crazy he said. It doesn't even matter. History don't even matter. I said, what? And people like, yeah, Sharif got you. Now, ain't nobody say that, but anyway. With that being said, one of the things that I want to get into real quick, and I got to get this out the way because I don't want to go too late because I know y'all got to go work tomorrow. So one of the things that I want to chop up real quick is the most important part, because I'm not going to spend all night on this because I got another presentation that I'm going to knock out the park. One of the presentations that I need to get into is Sharif claiming that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a Mason. That's one of the things I got to get into almost immediately. Now, if I can find the video, let me see. If I can find the video where Sharif, he is Sharif. Nah, let me leave below. I want to find the video because I need y'all to hear it. Maybe let me find it right here. Oh, I know where it's at. It's right in tube. It's right in my tube demonstration. I want y'all to hear this. Real talk. Because he said the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a Mason. Man, where is that? Where is that demonstration at? He said Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a Mason, and maybe I got it saved. Let me. There it is. Let me see if it's in here. Because this is the one that you really need to see. There you go.
But now that would be insinuating that he was a Mason.
Yeah. What I'm going to share with you.
Are you saying he was a Mason?
Yes. What I'm going to share with you.
Okay, pardon me more. You realize what you just said. You said Noble Drew Ali was a Mason. Now, do you have proof of that?
Here we go. Evidence to the fact, or evidence to the point. The last living, surviving member of Canaanite Temple back in the 80s, 1981. His name was Robert Walker. I'm gonna supply this as a gift to New York Perspective Podcast. And anybody that wants it can get it from you.
Bring it on, man.
Ali's Men possesses the full interview that the late Grand Sheik of Temple Number 10, New Jersey, his name was Brother C.L.S. Hill. Brother C.L.S. Hill interviewed Robert Walker in the 80s. And in that interview, in the beginning of the interview, he says, when you met the Prophet, you met him where? He goes, we would meet at the barbershop, at Dixon's Barbershop at 181 Warren Street. He said, was that the first time that you saw him? Robert Walker said, no. We knew each other from the Oddfellows and Freemasons.
Okay, can you repeat that one more time?
Brother Robert Walker, who was the last surviving member of Canaanite Temple, told Brother C.L.S. Hill in 1981 that he knew the Prophet from the Oddfellows and the Freemasons.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed two birds with one seed in 1 second. First of all, I'm going to feed two birds with one seed. Are y'all with me? Press 7 if y'all with me, because this is the highlight of today's show. I'm going to do I got another one coming, a long presentation coming that's going to be a couple hours, but this is the highlight. And I got a few more things that I'm going to cover. So he says that, notice he bought no receipts, but what he says is that he going to provide New York podcasts with the receipts of the letter. He has the full interview. Family, first of all, let's examine these things. Let's give it a second. Let's examine these things. All right. Let's examine these things right quick. The first thing we're going to have to examine is, hold on 1 second. We're going to have to examine the context in which he's talking about. So let me see if I can. Locate. I'm trying to look for. Oh my goodness, where did I put the? Hold up, they trying to work with me. Let me make sure I ain't lose my. Let me find this real quick. I just had a piece I wanted to share with y'all, but I got off track looking at something else. So let me see real quick.
Let me see if I can find it right quick. Okay, here we go. Praise the Lord for that. All right, here we go. All right, so he's talking about this letter. Now let's talk about this letter. Family. And when you're doing something scholarly, family, and you get something, the first thing you want to examine, all right, in academia, if you're gonna judge something from an academic sound level, that's right, I'm gonna chop some words, but we're gonna be academically sound. There's a few things you want to look at. He said he got the full interview. Well, I don't know if this is the full interview, but I got enough. All right. All right. I don't know if this is the full interview, but I got enough. Are y'all ready, family? Y'all got to stay up for this. I need at least 30 minutes so I can really wake y'all up to this. So when you get something, you examine it, you look at it. And you see the type, you look at it, and the first thing that you notice, that there is no signatures, there is no regular handwriting, it's just a typed up piece of paper. Let me teach you how I research, family. I look for clues for authenticity. That's the first thing I do. I look for clues for authenticity because many of us have been tricked by lies. So I look for clues for authenticity. Now, at the beginning of looking at this, I don't see any clue of authenticity. None whatsoever. But listen, as a researcher, you never want to conclude just because you don't see any clues of authenticity. A true researcher is going to check everything that they can find to validate something to be authentic or to be false. A true researcher does that. A lazy researcher, they just start picking up stuff, reading it, and if it agree with them, they'll tell it to people. A lazy researcher. But a true researcher, I got research from 5 years ago that you can put up here right now and it still stands true. And if there's new developments, I have to revise it. But I got videos up over 5 years old that you can watch right now, and it remains to be true. So let's get into this letter real quick that he claims that he's going to provide. Matter of fact, let's play it again. I love how he's so confident. Let's play it one more time. I love how he's so confident with that. Let's play it one more time.
But now that would be insinuating that he was a Mason.
Yeah. What I'm going to share with you.
Are you saying he was a Mason?
Yes. What I'm going to share with you.
Okay, pardon me more. You realize what you just said. You said Noble Jali was a Mason. Now, do you have proof of that?
Here we go. Evidence to the fact, or evidence to the point. The last living, surviving member of Canaanite Temple back in the 80s, 1981. His name was Robert Walker. I'm gonna supply this as a gift to New York Perspective Podcast, and anybody that wants it can get it from you.
Bring it on, man.
Ali's Men possesses the full interview that the late Grand Sheik of Temple Number 10, Newark, New Jersey, his name was Brother C. Ellis Hill. Brother C. Ellis Hill interviewed Robert Walker in the 80s. And in that interview, in the beginning of the interview, he says, when you met the prophet, you met him where? He goes, we would meet at the barbershop, at Dixon's Barbershop at 181 Warren Street. He said, was that the first time that you saw him? Robert Walker said, no. We knew each other from the Oddfellows and Freemasons.
Okay, can you repeat that one more time?
Brother Robert Walker, who was the last surviving member of Canaanite Temple, told Brother C. Ellis Hill in 1981 that he knew the prophet from the Oddfellows and the Freemasons.
All right, now let's read this letter. Let's read this letter real quick. Did Drew have a job? Not that I know of, I would imagine. I believe he worked part-time. Brother Walker, you told me that you and Drew worked together. When and where? In 1915, we started to work at Western Electric on 18th Avenue, Newark. Did Dixon work at the electric? Now, stop there. He said they met at the lodge. This is the letter he's talking about, but I'm just going to share a piece of this real quick. All right. So he said he worked with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali at Western Electric. Let's see how that can stand the litmus test. All right. Let's pull out this so we can see it one more time. Can it hold up? Can it hold up? Let's see. All right. He worked at Western Electric. Let's read it one more time. Brother Walker, you told me you and Drew worked together. When and where? In 1915, we started to work at Western Electric on 18th Avenue, Newark, New Jersey. I would imagine that'd be. Now, here is the problem with that. This is the company called Western Electric. This is all of the locations. Now, there is a location that is in Union, New Jersey, that was formerly Newark, but that ain't till 1926, according to the company. According to the company, they didn't establish, see the top, establish that branch until 1926. All right. Not 1915, 1926. And it was in Union. All right. By that time, it was called Union and not Newark. All right. That's number one. All right. So they're using this bogus letter, and I'm going to show you why they're using this bogus letter, because Anael already told us what they were trying to do. He already told us what they was trying to do. Press 7 if y'all seen that so far. That there is no Western Electric. Go do your own research. Or, no, let me do it for you. There is no Western Electric at that time. And in fact, let me pull it up in real time for you. Let me pull it up real time for you. All right, let's pull it up in real time. Okay. Western Electric. All right, let's pull it up in real time. Western Electric. There we go. Just so you know, this is a Wikipedia search, but the Wikipedia all has what you call they have the sources with them. So don't fret because it's wiki. But let me share it with you. Just for there it is. There it is. Now I'm going to share it with you, and you can look it up yourself. Western Electric. And you know what made me look it up, though? Because not only am I a researcher, but I remember the telephone company called Western Electric. I mean, it was a very popular phone company. Here it go, right here. And listen, you can look it up yourself. You know what I mean? And now I'm gonna just run it down for you. Here you go. Western Electric, right there. Western Electric. Western Electric Company was American electrical engineering manufacturing company officially founded in 1869. The ironic thing about this is the ironic thing about this. You see, it got all the history here, but the ironic thing about this is that they literally had an office that was in Chicago. In fact, one of the main offices was in Chicago, which would lead me to believe that somebody made this up that was in Chicago. In 1904, moved from Chicago to West Chicago, formerly known as Chicago. So it would lead me to believe that somebody in Chicago, but hold up, let's not chalk it up right there. Let's not chalk it up right there. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's not chalk it up right there. Let's not chalk it up right there. Let's just say, okay, something is wrong. Maybe we can find Western Electric somewhere down the line. But this is a major company. Western Electric is a major company. It's not like a little corner store. It's like a major company. That was like a wrong move to use that. But anyway, let's go a step further. Let's go a step further. Now, with that being said, let's look at the letter. Let's go with the letter right quick. Let's go with the letter. Oh, my bad. Let me bring the letter back out. Let me bring the whole letter back out. All right. All right, let's read some more of the letter. So in this letter, they say, where was the place located? This is where they supposed to have found. And notice, very conveniently, it says that they, very conveniently, it says, when you and Brother Walker, when you said Brother Walker, is the shop become too small for the group? Yes, so they was in the barbershop, supposedly Dixon Barbershop. And he said that the shop became too small, and he says, for the group. He said, yes, it was decided we find a meeting place. What year was it when you found this place? 1916. Ironically, the foundation of the Moorish Divine and National Movement is in that same era. So conveniently, we're in 1915 and 1916. Conveniently. Where was this place located? Here we go. We found a place on the corner of Rutger Street and 12th Avenue on the second floor over a saloon entrance on Rutger Street. Now, according to them, this is where the story takes a crazy turn. They said it was over a saloon on Rutger Street. But the funny part to that is that the story says, hold up, let me find it real quick. The story actually says that they were in an old Canaanite temple or old Canaanite building. And they would use, one second, let me find it. They would use, if you will, let me see if I can find it. I just had it up here for a second. Is this something? Bam. No, that ain't it. I just had it up here. Anyway, let me pull up a fresh one. No harm, no foul. I'll pull up a fresh one. So they said that it was in an old Canaanite temple or the old Canaanite temple. But according to this, they were in a saloon. I mean, above a saloon, which would be a bar, and everybody shows this picture. So is the saloon down beneath, or is this the actual Canaanite temple? Press 7 if anybody ever seen this picture shown as the old Canaanite temple. According to them, this is the old Canaanite temple. But according to the letter, maybe it was a saloon at the bottom, but where are we talking about? What part of the bottom are we talking about? Where are we talking about? What we doing? What we doing? You understand what I'm saying? Let's put the prophet on here. What we doing, Prophet Noble Drew Ali? Is the saloon up here? I mean, the saloon down here and the Canaanite temple up here? Or is it, as people been saying for the last 20, 30, 40 years, that this is the old Canaanite temple? Is it the whole building? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Because according to the historical counts that y'all been talking about for the last 20 years, y'all claim that that's the whole Canaanite temple. And no one can deny this. But according to your letter that you said that you're going to dispense to everybody, it tells us that they were over top of a saloon. That's number one. But no harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. Let me just read a little more to get to my bigger point. All right. Now, they start talking about Brother Walker Prophet Noble Drew Ali was preaching about things that everybody didn't like and people got mad and all right. And this is an old wives' tale that went on and on, that somebody ran him out of New Jersey and the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was teaching Islam and they didn't want him to teach Islam. They even got the Masonic guy from the Egyptian demonstration. He was there too, etc., etc. All of this stuff is made up wives' tales, and I'm going to crush it tonight. But before I crush it too hard, let me get over here and deal with this other situation. Now, let's do some forensic. Y'all ready to do some real forensics? Let's do some forensics. Remember, Sharif R.Neal Bey said they got a letter from 1981 from the last surviving member. Now, let's go into that. He says that the last visit, this is the letter he's talking about. Can y'all see this? Press 7 if y'all can see this. The last visit to seeing him was Wednesday, February 10th, 1981. Y'all hear this? They say the last time that they seen Brother Walker, who is giving this interview, is February 10th, 1981. I'm going to take a break so I can get me some water. I need to make sure y'all paying attention because I'm about to blow this all up in 1 second. Let me get me some water. All right, I see some 7s in the air. See, at this point, Sharif looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick. You understand what I'm saying? He's looking bad. He's just grabbing for straws. All right, let's get busy. So this is the letters that he's talking about that he's going to distribute. Ali's men, we're going to... Sounding all confident. Poor buddy. Poor buddy. So February 10th, Let me read what it says, and we're gonna run it down. It says that this interview, the last time they spoke to him was Wednesday, February 10th, 1981. Standing beside his bed, he was breathing heavy. He reached for my hand. We held hands for near a half hour. I tried to get him to repeat the Moorish prayer. He could not. He dismissed around 3 a.m. Thursday, February the 10th. The next day, Miss Richardson called and informed me that his daughter wants to know would I officiate his funeral. She was sure he would have want a Moorish funeral. I agreed. On Saturday, February 13th, Sister Elliot L., chair sister, and I officiated. The Moors present were Sister Ellis L., Sister Sykes Bey, Sister Sis and Bro Agers L., and Assistant GS Brother J. Elliot L. It was an honor for Moors of Temple 10, the last charter member of the Canaanite Temple. We now at peace. Was now at peace. All right. Now, one thing that Sharif said was, I want you to hear it one more time, because he says things too confidently for my comfort. You know what I mean? Because he's you know what I mean, he used that Masonic smooth stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, he good with it, but not that good.
But now that would be insinuating that he was a Mason.
Yeah. What I'm going to share with you.
Are you saying he was a Mason?
Yes. What I'm going to share with you.
Okay, pardon me more. You realize what you just said. You said Noble Jali was a Mason. Now, do you have proof of that?
Here we go. Evidence to the fact, or evidence to the point. The last living, surviving member of Canaanite Temple back in the 80s, 1981. His name was Robert Walker. I'm gonna supply this as a gift to New York Perspective Podcast, and anybody that wants it can get it from you.
Bring it on, man.
Ali's Men possesses the full interview that the late Grand Sheik of Temple Number 10, Newark, New Jersey, his name was Brother C. Ellis Hill. Brother C. Ellis Hill.
Stop there.
Interviewed Robert Walker in the 80s.
Stop there.
And in that interview, in the beginning of the interview,
I guess C. Ellis L. must be related to Sis V. Ellis L. Because according to this, Sis V. Ellis L. Sis V. Ellis L. So maybe E. Ellis L. is here too. Not sure. But I do know Sis V. Ellis L. is. That's number one. All right? But I ain't going to read no harm, no foul. No foul. Slip of the tongue, maybe. Who knows? I mean, but now, one thing that I want you to pay attention to real closely, and we're going to knock it out the park so you can go to work tomorrow. One thing I want you to pay closely to is the details. Whenever you do research, I want you to pay closer to details. Remember, it was over the saloon, if you will. And they said that and in fact, I would be remiss if I wouldn't change up the momentum just a bit and say this is what these Moorish supposed to be teachers stand on. They took down a lot of the information since I've been covering this off the website, but they just briefed it now. Where they say, in 1913, Prophet Noble Ali founded the Canaanite Temple in Newark, New Jersey. That is a lie. The Canaanite Temple was an early indication that the so-called Negroes were the Asiatic origin of the Holy Land of Canaan. That's a lie. If any Moorish Americans in here read the Divine Constitution and Bylaws, and most importantly, the questionnaire, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali asks a question, and we all know the answer. When was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded? 1913 AD. There is nothing in the doctrine that you can find where Prophet Noble Drew Ali mentions the Canaanite temple. So it's beyond me that these people would be leading people making up this stuff without proof. And the only thing I can think that they're using as proof is this bogus letter. That's the only thing I can think they're using. Because there's nothing else that exists. So we're going to knock this out the park real quick. So it says, on Thursday, February the 11th, is when he passed. And remember, they're writing it as they're doing it. On Saturday, February 13th, Sister Elliott, et cetera, they had the funeral. So they got 3 dates up here. You understand what I'm saying? They got 3 dates up here, and they're getting busy. The problem with that is the dates don't match. Such an important story that the Thursday, February the 11th, is actually a Wednesday in 1981. And on Saturday, February the 13th, Sister Ellis, this is when they supposed to had buried him. Surely a Moorish American would remember the difference between burying somebody on a Saturday and on a holy day. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree that you wouldn't mess up that? Of all things that could be a typo in an error, you buried somebody on a holy day or on a Saturday. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Let me read it one more time. On Saturday, February 13th, let me make sure that I'm reading it right. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Let me read the whole thing. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. I know the dates are wrong, but let me see. The next day, Miss Richardson called and informed me that his daughter wanted to know if I would officiate his funeral, and she was sure he would have one a Moorish funeral. I agreed. On Saturday, February the 13th. Surely a Moorish American would know that a funeral was on a holy day. Cryptonomics is in Moorish World TV moderating. He's in here moderating. He'll take your head off if you talk crazy. And Cryptonomics know, man, on Friday, Grand Sheik gonna be in holy day. Cryptonomics know holy day better than them. He ain't in the temple. Cryptonomics know holy day. Me and Crip talk frequently. But no, on Friday, we don't speak that much because I guess Crip say he gonna be in the temple. It's holy day. So you mean tell me that I'm supposed to believe that this meeting actually took place, and Sharif and that whole body is using that to try to confirm that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a Mason? And history, see, this is the unique thing about this. Before Tahaka Bey, everybody believed that story in part, including myself at one point. You hear what I said? Until I did research, until I doubled back and checked. Everybody believed that story at one point. All the elders tell the story. Everybody tell the story. I once believed the story until I double checked. And not only did I double check, I actually went a step further. You hear what I say? I actually went a step further. And what I did was I researched the complete organization. You know what I'm saying? And I found the filing, the corporate filing. I found everything. And many other people have found it too. I mean, many other people have found it too, but they don't like to talk about it. You follow what I'm saying? Many other people have found it too. But at the end of the day, it says, the corporate filing, I got it somewhere. I'm looking for it right now, but if I don't find it, Don't worry about it. I'll put it in the next demonstration. But the thing in a nutshell is that these people are using bogus information to try to convince people that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a Mason. And the reason why they want to do that is because they're using the Moorish Science Temple of America as their recruiting mechanism. And they're taking people off the path of building for themselves. They're taking people off the path of establishing things for themselves. And they go into this clandestine organization and they build up those organizations while the Moorish Science Temple of America suffer from outside infiltration and those who have no interest of being free from the iron hand of oppression and the Roman yoke and law. They have no interest in that. Listen to what I'm telling you. Sharif made a statement. He says that the reason why many people need, or it's beneficial, and I don't want to chop his words too much, that it's beneficial to be in these organizations is because they show you how to understand basically Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teachings, or understand the secret lessons or the mysteries. Understand that. This is what he says. Sharif is recorded as saying a whole bunch of outlandish stuff that people don't even catch on to. Sharif says that not only was he a Sufi, he's a Sufi, he's in a Sufi order. He was a 5%er. He's a Moorish American. He's also in multiple different fraternity clandestine organizations. Like, when would you have time to even build a nation within the construct of the Moorish Science Temple of America? Your brain is too scattered. I mean, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says that a Moorish American, basically, let me say it the best I can. Direction can be only in one way. Can only be one way. I mean, now, let me share this with you, and I'm going to break this down.
Does Freemasonry favor any religion?
No.
Does
They love to
Freemasonry
lie.
require you to be religious?
No.
It only requires a belief in deity.
Okay. Y'all see what he said? Let me show you how they play the trick game. Let me show you how to play the trick game.
Does Freemasonry favor any religion?
No.
Does Freemasonry require you to be religious?
No.
It only requires a belief in deity.
Here is the trick language. So Freemasonry does not point out a specific religion for one to be subscribed to. It's just you have to have a belief in a higher power, a belief in God. However, one begs to ask the question, who constructed the Freemasonry that you ultimately, or Prince Hall ultimately, would get a charter from? They were Christians. Most of them was Protestants. So where did they construct it from? Where did the story of Hiram Abiff comes from? The story comes out of the Bible. Many of the stories and the rituals are drawn from, say it with me now, the Bible. Am I lying? Many of the rituals come out of the Bible. From a Christian perspective, going into an esoteric understanding. So what is he talking about? It doesn't prefer a religion. Okay, that sounds good in word, but those who developed the craft in which you subscribe to were European Christians. They got it from our forefathers. Then go to your forefathers. They got it from ancient Kemet. Then why are you skipping over ancient Kemet and going to them? Why? Because you believe that white mean purity, purity mean God, and God mean ruler of the land. And you believe that they are really white people. You believe that they are pure. You believe that they are your God. And you believe that they are rulers of your land, this flesh that you are in. You said that when they came into your house and they looked at your books and the best thing that most people can do right now, it's like when Jordan was in his prime, like just guard him the best way you can or just sit on the bench and let somebody else take a go at it. When LeBron is on fire, man, just get out the way, man. Just get out the way. And this is what Sharif and all of these guys need to do. They need to sit back and just get out the way because you're embarrassing yourself at this point. You're embarrassing yourself. You're really embarrassing yourself in such ways that I never would imagine that you would do to yourself. You looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick. Now, my commentary is different from my receipts. I'm just giving commentary at this time. But the receipts that I put out, I would love to see for you to refute them. Don't refute my commentary because I'm just talking at this point. Refute my receipts. That's what I implore you to do. Refute my receipts. Let me get a few more things going on real quick before I get out of here. Now, so we say that Freemasonry doesn't favor religion, but it's developed by people who were religious. That's why many of the rituals come out the Bible. And you being a Scottish Rite know that. He's a Scottish Rite Mason. You know that. Now, on the flip side of that, I'll save that for another time. But let me say that for another time. Now, this is the part that I'm talking about.
Practice our religion. Like my assistant Grand Sheik, never been in a lodge. They may say, a Freemason may say, "Ooh, I can't talk about that with you because you're right." And that's okay. But then you're talking to somebody who's never been in a lodge, like my assistant Grand Sheik, never been in a lodge. But guess what he could do? He can converse freely with Freemasons because he knows chapter 5 and chapter 17. He knows chapter 7 and chapter 11. So he can converse freely and they recognize him as an equal. Because, I mean, you can't unring the bell. If I know that the compass is used to draw circles around my passions and the desires and keep within the bounds of righteousness, Mikey, if you didn't know me from a can of paint but you knew I wasn't in a lodge, but I said that, what would you think?
Automatically, I would have threw some signs at you. Like, what's up?
But see, hold up. What he's saying is that in the lodge, there's a different degree of understanding to what he just said. There's a different degree of understanding to that. It varies. It's like when Prophet Noble Drew Ali hold his hands up on the 10. It don't mean the same thing in the lodge for all intents and purposes. When the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is blessing the Moors. You know what I'm saying? So they playing trick language right now. This is what I'm saying. Listen to this.
He says, when you met the Prophet, you met him where? He goes, we would meet at the barbershop, at Dixon's Barbershop at 181 Warren Street.
My bad.
He said, was that the first time that you saw him?
My bad.
Robert Walker said, no. You begin to recognize me as a brother, knew each other, and then guess what we can do? Have a conversation and build a relationship.
Yep.
I want to ask a question.
Listen to what he said one more time.
Before going further.
That's what he said.
Equal. And then, Mikey, you didn't know me from a can of paint, but you knew I wasn't in a lodge, but I said that. What did you think?
Automatically, I would have threw some signs at you. Like, what's
He
up,
said
man?
if he said something from chapter 11 of the Moorish Science Tip of America and he didn't know what if he was in a lodge, what would you think? But now listen to this. This is the motivation right here.
Automatically, you begin to recognize me as
These
a
people
brother
are
and as an
opportunists.
equal. And then guess what we can do? Have a conversation and build a relationship.
Yep.
I want to ask a
So that's what I'm saying. See, they go into these little dark little corners and they can build relationships while our people suffer because we don't know what they know, hypothetically speaking.
question.
But still gauge you. Before going further.
Absolutely.
So the question I'd like to ask is, what's the difference between a fez and what a Shriner or a Mason would wear?
Oh, that's easy. Here we go. A shrine, a member of the shrine is a member of a fraternity. It's a fraternity. The Moorish Symbol of America is not a fraternity. Moorish Symbol of America, among other things, is a religious organization. But it's not just religious, because remember, what is the everlasting gospel? It is a saving power that comes from Allah, but through our ancient fathers.
He just loved to talk.
So a part of the saving power is cultural appropriation, cultural practice, cultural heritage.
That stuff
is a
sound
part
good.
of the saving power.
Those words
so
sounds
me,
real good to people don't know.
Fraternal.
Let me tell you something. That stuff sounds real good to people that don't have an understanding of more science or haven't been under an effective leadership. Fortunately, me, I was under a guy that, in my later years, in my earlier years, I was trying to figure it out, and I was under some sharp brothers. But I think one of the turning points of my, and I've been thinking about it lately, I got to give it up to R. Edwardsell. One of the major turning points of my studies was, although I had a lot of information, it was like, sitting in the temple, and when I thought I knew something, the brother Edwardsell would be like, nah, we ain't talking about that today. Sit down. I'd be like, man, like, I'm a grown man. Like, I remember he would say something I disagree. He'd be like, nah, I'm not trying to learn this. I'm trying to teach you this. I'm trying to teach you what I know. And many days I would have to just sit there, during Sunday or Wednesday or whenever we was there, and I would have to listen. And when I would have the chance to thumb through the archives in which he researched, I was able to look at it and be like, oh man, I was able to piece things together, and then I was able to take it to a whole nother plateau by trying to connect dots. You know what I'm saying? And so, but in the Moorish Science Temple of America, if you don't have a foundation that's predicated upon understanding, building that rock, then people can just drag you around anywhere they want to, because some of this stuff sounds really good. And one thing about a Mason that can talk, oh my goodness, they can make anything sound good. But when you go and do the research, it does not pass the litmus test. It just does not pass the litmus test. And I'll say this to you right now. When I say Sheikh 7 is not an adapt, most people don't want to get in that type of controversy. But I guarantee you that my elders, if they were to speak, they would say that 95% of the people claiming adapt are not adapts. Just because of the research that we know. 95, and that's a high number, because of the research that we know, that we could say that. And we can say it confidently. And we can say it confidently. And I ain't going to put everybody on the same bus that I'm going down the street on, but I'm telling you right now, we can say it confidently. And I'm going to tell you, one thing about me, I can show and prove. I can show and prove. But let me get with this. One thing I want to share is, he said that Freemasonry, he said that the Moorish Science Temple of America is a religious organization. And this is one of the things that I had to share. This is one of the things that I had to share before I move on. But let me tell you, before I move on, one of the things that I also found is that in this letter, they mention a brother named J. Elliott L. And this is supposed to be 1981. It's the weird thing about it is that every time I find a mix-up in this crazy stuff, that I always find somebody with a similar name. And from 1965, guess who was the Grand Sheikh of Temple number 10? J. Elliott Bey. And this is how I was able to do research on the lineage, claiming that people was grand sheiks from the time of the prophet, because I would see how they would use names and change his Beys. They would change L's. They would use all sorts of stuff to lie. They would use all sorts of stuff. See, this is what's wrong with people. They don't know what type of research I got. Isn't it ironic that in this letter, they got a brother J. Elliot L. as assistant Grand Sheik, a temple number 10. Temple number 10. But in 1965, there is a J. Elliot Bey, Grand Sheik of temple number 10. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that a coinky dink? Isn't that something? See what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying, man. You looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick, man. Just be quiet, man. Let it go. Let me teach the people the real truth, because this is not about you. I only use you as a sounding board. And anybody come against me, I'm going to use them as a sounding board to teach people the real truth. People need to know the real truth of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. People need to know that the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali can stand alone by itself, connected to the teachings of our ancient forefathers of ancient Kemet, to our ancient forefathers of the Indigos of the Indus Valley, to our ancient forefathers around the planet. It can stand by itself. Muhammad never used Jesus to validate him. Nobody ever uses a holy and divine prophet, never use another system to validate them. And when a holy and divine prophet come, they come with a complete system. And within that construct of the system, that's all you need. And you're able to see everything that befalls you, everything that's trying to stop you, everything. You'll be able to see the Mason. You'll be able to see the Scottish. You'll be able to see the Blue Lodge. You'll be able to see all of it through the lens that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali put in your eye. You'll be able to see it all. You don't got to be in there. You can see it because the complete system is divine. The complete system is divine. It comes from the universal creator. It's a divine energy within the pure lessons, not in the fake interpretation that people like to put out. So you can't win. You cannot win. It's impossible for you to win. It's impossible. Now, when people like to say, and a brother was on the stream on a live feed, and he said it's like you can be in a the Moorish Temple of America is a religious organization, and it's a religious organization, and so it's like you can't be a doctor and be the Moorish Temple. Like, he talking real crazy. But let me tell you something. The Moorish Temple of America was designed as a full operational, every aspect of life organization. It was filed as a religious organization for the express purpose to reap benefits in order for us to reach our end that we're striving for. But it was a all-inclusive, and it need to go back to that. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali clearly says, since the work of the Moorish Temple of America was largely religious, he didn't say completely religious, largely religious. It started out as a civic organization, but it became largely religious. But that didn't mean it dropped the civics, because right after this filing was made, more civic activity happened under the religious corporation than what had happened before it was filed. What are you talking about? More of the civic engagement happened after the prophet made that statement. Huh? Y'all with me? He said the work was largely religious, not completely religious. Was largely religious. The organization has been legally changed to a religious corporation, and an affidavit to this effect have been properly filed in the County of Cook's Recorder's Office. See, let me tell you something. When you're dealing with a divine prophet, when you're dealing with somebody that's in their right mind, they're trying to free people, they utilize systems to walk through doors, kind of like a Trojan horse, in order to give the gift that keep on giving, that good old freedom. But you wouldn't understand it because you're too busy everywhere. Your feet abideth not in your Father's house. So you ain't going to get this. You ain't going to get this. Let me show you something. When Sheikh 7 said that, oh, you know, they can't rent the lodge, let me tell you something. In the same Unity Hall, a hospitable and convenient public gathering place, has every facility for Wilt's parties, breakfast and evening, dancing, balls, reception, banquets, clubs, meeting, rehearsal, fraternal meeting, church services, conventions, and amateur shows. So when we're talking about 3140, yes, Masons was everywhere. That was the highlight of the time for people to be involved in Freemasonry and fraternal organizations. But when the prophet came and taught who we were, where we came from, and the true identity of the mystery system, who owns it, who possesses it, then we should be going that way. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he says, the Muslims of India, Palestine had these secrets kept back from the outside world. And when the time was appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed these secrets. And for the first time in ages, these secrets have been delivered to the hands of the Muslims in America. You think the European delivered this to us? That's what you're trying to say? But how did he deliver it to us? How did he deliver it to us? How did he deliver it to us? Let's talk about it. When he talks about the coming of the Quran, this is how I delivered to her. A masterpiece of religious literature. Secrets of all the creeds reveals. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali has spent many hours preparing the latest edition of the Quran, which will be a masterpiece of religious literature. To Americanize the Oriental idea of Islam involves many changes that are more or less negative to the main purpose of the Islamic religion. Such changes are carefully considered with the idea to avoid changing the complexion of the original text. In other words, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali divinely prepared the demonstration. The philosophy of the ancient prophets is the main initiative of this compilation of the Quran. This is why I tell you it can't be a plagiarization if he tell you it's a compilation. Do we know what a compilation is? Good goodness gracious. No thoughts of propaganda enter this work, and has been the case of many form of religious work, such as the Bible and other books of creed. So when you're pulling out your rituals as a Mason out of the Bible, know for sure that the prophet, according to this article that was in the Moorish Guide, it says that such as the Bible and other books of creed. The sole purpose of the prophet in giving such message to the world is to save fallen humanity. When a compiler attempts to inject propaganda into a work of this kind, there arises a need to cover the true text in order to prevent a clash with the truth and ideas involved in such propaganda. Former works of this kind have either hindered or helped the nations proportionately to the adherence to the truth, as the original purpose of keeping the ignorant in such a state. Saying that some of this stuff that you are reading, some of this stuff that they are teaching, from the Bible to the Quran, has been put in such a way, has been compiled in such a way, has been delivered to you in such a way to keep you in an ignorant state. And these people that claim to be part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, claim to be Moorish American Moslem, they hold these secrets to themselves in these places while the public remain ignorant and unknown to them that they are plotting against them as it relates for their prosperity and their own. So it goes on to say, the many secrets known to the prophet could be used for salvation of the nation, were either left out or colored to the extent that their meaning was made void. Let me go back. In such a state, it is hard to resist the temptation to use this medium for gain. Hence, many of the former treaties of works of this kind have been means to foster ideas of the unscrupulous, wherein they desire to use religious influence for gain. The many secrets known to the prophet that could be used for the salvation of the nation were either left out or colored to an extent that their meaning was made void. Such is not the case with this edition of the Quran. All the secrets of the ages are known to men are put in this work. Why do I need to join a clandestine organization if the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says that all the secrets known to man are put into this work? He didn't say some. He said all. Now, with that being said, that means that most people do not have confidence in the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and they got to go and find these other little treasures or whatever the case may be. Now, the problem is I've studied and I looked at it. But nevertheless, I see it through the lens of the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I don't have that as a separate compartment of my knowledge. No, I look at everything through the lens because I believe, have confidence and faith that the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is complete. And I can look at things through the lens of the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I can see the fraud, I can see the fake, I can see the scam, I can see the sham. And so Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he says, whether you believe it or not, whether you are more or not, he says, all the secrets of the ages known to man are put in this work. The secrets known only to the magi or to the magi, however you want to say it, are here revealed. The readers of the stars, the interpretations of marriage relations, the understanding of the span of life, and such as been kept from the Occidental world are in this book boldly brought out. The Quran, Americanized as it will be, can be brought in a few weeks. It will be sent to all governors of the Moorish Science of America by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Now, here we go. Most people don't believe a word Prophet Noble Drew Ali say, because that shows you that if Prophet Noble Drew Ali says that he brought you everything, and you think something is missing, and you think you need more to take an oath under, that doesn't mean that you don't study Medunetza, that you don't study these systems that these Europeans put together so you can help save your people. But when you take an oath to be loyal to that, there's no way that you can take a vow to be in the sacred brotherhood of the divine teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. It's impossible. I mean, and let me cover that real quick, because it was a brother, and I'm going to wrap it up with this. It was a brother who claimed that that an oath and a vow is the same. And I tried to basically quickly explain to him that according to the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, they are not the same. You know what I mean? Not according to your European Webster, but the way that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali wrote the Quran, they are not the same. So let me pull this up real quick for him, and I'm gonna screenshot it. I'm gonna screenshot it real quick, just for the sake of putting it on the record and for the record, in my Taj Tariq voice. Let me screenshot the first one real quick. I mean, now. And Haru Reniciel, you need to go back and check your work, because you was teaching this garbage too. That's right. You was teaching the Canaanite temple too. I'm going to show that too. All you brothers that been teaching this false stuff, go back and correct your work. Go back and correct it. You're teaching people wrong, whether you knew it or not. Go back and correct your work, because I'm calling it all out. I said it. That's right. Hopkins Bay, everybody. Go back and change your work. I mean, now, that's it. All right, that's one right there. Now, That's right. Go back and change your work. Because I'm telling you, I'm teaching it real. And I don't want nobody keep on coming to me and say, well, the brother over there said this and the brother over there said that. I mean, All right. All right, all right. So we got 3 places where we see vow. The vow of the secret brotherhood. The vow was made for you as a Nazarite. Let me just grab this one for the sake of time. Let me grab this one real quick. Let me stretch it out real quick. Let me just grab this one, the first one that came up. What is this from? This is chapter 4. And it's a shame that and I'm gonna blame y'all Grand Sheiks for not teaching y'all correctly. I mean, your Grand Sheik should have pushed you in your chest like Edward Zell did me one time. Get him. What more? Like, hold up, brothers. You know I got you by 20 years, but stop doing that. Just not doing that. And was there no karate. And Lil karate man too. He karate man. All right, so listen. So I was trying to explain to the brother that there's a difference between an oath and a vow, according to the Quran. The reason why there is a difference, whether you choose to accept it or not, the reason why it's a difference is because the way that an oath is explained in the Quran. It says, when thou givest an oath, when thou swearest, thou wilt not deceive, behold, it spreadeth shame on thy face, and upon thy face of him that receiveth it. Like if you give an oath to somebody, y'all both faking each other out. Learn to be just, and repentance may be forgotten. Learn to be honest, and oaths are unnecessary. You feel what I'm saying? So it's saying that when thou givest an oath, thou swearest, thou wilt not deceive. In other words, in the basic sense of this text, it's saying that when you saying something like that, you already lied off the break. You know good and well, because you don't know what tomorrow promises. You don't know. But now, you don't know what tomorrow might bring. You know what I mean? Or what the rest you might be on. So it say, in infancy, a vow was made for you to become a Nazarite. A vow is a promise, but that doesn't mean that if you go against your vow that, you know, that it's the end all be all. No, you clean yourself up. But right here, you being deceptive. You know what I mean? I'm taking an oath. You know what I mean? You being deceptive because you don't know. You don't know what choices you might make tomorrow. And man changes his mind often. The prophets say the wise man changes his mind often. The fool is obstinate. So back to the beginning of this conversation, if Anael was a Mason, in which I did hear the story that he was, if he's a wise man, he could change his mind, drop that, and pick up what the prophet bought and move on and keep it pushing. So the prophet Noble Drew Ali asked Anael, are you with them or are you with me? And Anael said he was with the prophet. So the question that Moors need to ask themselves, are you with them or are you with the prophet? That's it. Are you with them or are you with the prophet? It can't be both. With that being said, family, thank you for joining me this evening. I hope y'all got a lesson. I'm ready for anybody. You know what? I don't even think I need to keep saying I'm ready to debate anybody, because this is not debatable. Sometimes these brothers that once was formidable with information as it relates to talking, sometimes they need to just humble themselves and just fall back. Just fall back. Because there's no way in the world that you are going to be able to guard Jordan in his prime. It's impossible. It's impossible. You cannot guard Jordan. You cannot guard Allen Iverson in his prime. You can't. You can't guard Kobe. It's impossible. Shaq is going to dunk on you every single time. LeBron is not going for you trying to put your hands out. It's impossible. So with that being said, family, when it comes to falsehood, family, we got to keep it a buck. We got to keep it a buck. You know what I mean? We can't play with it. We got to keep it a buck. It is what it is. We can't allow this lie. People coming into the Moorish Science Temple of America every single day. Every single day. We have people joining all the time. And there's no way that we should sit around and have them trying to figure out, do I need this or do I need that? We should not have no patience. We should have no patience for one trying to teach people that Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teachings can be combined and laced and intersected with a European concept of esoteric proportions of Christianity or Islam or whatever you're talking about. So when it comes to falsehood,
if he dies, he dies.
Whenever it comes to falsehood,
if he dies, he dies.
All right? Whenever it comes to falsehood, if he dies, he dies. If falsehood dies, it dies. If it dies, he dies. With that being said, family, peace and love, family. I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to get out of here. I think that was a good demonstration. People's Grand Sheik. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The People's Grand Sheik. I know you really not my enemy. You just wanna steal my energy. You acting like that slaveholder, and on the real, your heart seem a little colder. I know you mad, I'm the man now. Talking all crazy, looking crazy, homie, stand down. Cause on the real, I will line you up. It looks bad when you don't know your time is up. See, I'm the People's Grand Sheik. See, the people chose me to represent love, truth, peace, freedom. Let's not forget the justice. Hannibal, swing that scimitar, let that text spit for real. Let's go, Hannibal! People's Grand Sheik. Hey! The people chose me. My sniper Hannibal in the building! People's Grand Sheik. The Hannibal! Chose me, so right now, you can't speak. Hold on, let's run it back. I'm the People's Let's run it back. Sheik. Let's run it back. Let's run it back. Let me run it back for Hannibal. Let me run it back for Hannibal. Shout out to Hannibal, man. Let me turn my mic down, man. Shout out to Hannibal, man, because they don't know. They don't know. They just slow-mo. They don't know. All right, let me run this back. Let me run this back. I got to do this right. Let me run it back. People's Grand Sheik. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. Yeah. The People's Grand Sheik. I know you really not my enemy. You just want to steal my energy. You acting like that slaveholder, and on the real, your heart seem a little colder. I know you mad, I'm the man now. Talking all crazy, looking crazy, homie, stand down. Cause on the real, I will line them up. It looks bad when you don't know your time is up. See, I'm the People's Grand Sheik. See, the people chose me to represent love, truth, peace, freedom. Let's not forget the justice. Hannibal, swing that scimitar, let that text spit for real. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The people chose me. Yeah, I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The people chose me, so right now you can't speak. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The people chose me. You know it. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The People's Grand Sheik. Right now you can't speak. The People's Grand Sheik. The prophet representative. I'm only doing what they shoulda did. Yeah, I'm talking about these old sheiks out in these streets. Y'all looking so weak. So what you want, fight now? The true perk, it got you all tight now. Internet Moors, man, they the worst. Got the nerve to be talking about the family in the church. Stuck on the keyboard, stuck on the iPhone, claiming Moorish national. Man, this stuff is mine. national. Increases your capital, your thoughts are so irrational. Don't own a piece of land, working for Uber Eats, or the pizza man. Can't build, can't farm, can't get along, and your days are almost people's grand sheep. The people chose me. I'm the people's grand sheep. The people chose me, so right now you can't speak. I'm the people's grand sheep. The people's grand sheep. I'm the people's grand sheep. The people's grand sheep. So right now you can't speak. Mr. Potato Head, you had your chance. The way you played your hand, you never will advance. You lack the integrity, wanna be celebrity, but you and I know that you would never be. This about uplifting, not rolling spliffs, getting lifted. Misfit, you missed it. The off doors are closed now. You out in the flood, you about to drown. I'm watching you go down and miss the scholarship. When I see it, I call it. You jumping from group to group just like a harlot, and that's just the facts. You can call me what you want, but can't adjust the facts. I never left the teachers, never adopted new philosophies. That's an act of European psychology. I'm with that old time religion. Truth don't change. Hypocrites change, so I'ma remain. The people's grand sheep. The people chose me. I'm the people's grand sheep. The people chose me, so right now you can't speak. I'm the people's grand sheep. The people chose me. I'm the people's grand sheep.
Thank you for joining me, family.
Chose me, so right now you can't speak.
Thank you for joining me, family. Man, let me tell you something, family. I appreciate y'all joining me, but I will appreciate it better if you can share this. I'm gonna be watching the comment section. I want to see what people gonna come back and say because I'm always prepared. I'm always prepared to make sure that we take it to another level. You know what I'm saying?
Arise.
I'm always gonna be prepared.
Praise to Allah.
That's right.
Honor to his
What's up, Black Girls Read?
Prophet
Thank you,
Noble
Crypto. Demetrius Manning Bay. Thanks for hanging out with me.
It's a new day for the Moors.
Hey, Moors.
Hey, Moors. It's a new day
It's
for
the
the
People's
Moors.
Grand
Islam.
Sheik in the building.
Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey, Moors. It's
Hey.
Islam.
It's a new day for the Moors.
Hey, Moors. Hey, Moors.
It's a new day for the Moors.
Oh, yeah. Islam.
Come on.
It's a new day for the Moors.
Abaza.
Y'all made me do it, ain't wanna do it. Try to work with y'all and I was going through it. I said hit the streets, they wanna hit the streets. You wanna stay in the temple. Same speech, same talk, same bark, no bite. Well, alright, I'm the Huckabee and I'ma handle that. My prophet spoke to me, say handle that. Now front and center, front line. Look at y'all, wasn't mine, but it ain't mine, it's God plan, a law plan. Oh man, from here on out, all you gonna see is Prophet Noble, Drew Ali, Old Moors, step aside, 3rd and 4th, come on, let's ride. Hey,
Join Noble Temples at gmail.com.
It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey, it's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors.
Islam,
Oh, yeah.
Islam.
It's a new day for the Moors.
Hey.
We were visited by a prophet of God, and you mean to tell me we can't go hard? I'm a more of old, the one who rode the elephants over the elves in the cold. Even went to Spain, rearranged the terrain, even tried to civilize Cain. Now cipher, the rain is green. Let me show you what this means. My tassel roll 360. Do you really think you can tell me what to do and say? I'ma make you look out for him and bait. I roll with the prophet, I'm a prophet more. Follow the prophet, so I profit more. Stop it more. I'm holding the world and make me drop it more. Now drop it more. It's a new day for the Moors.
Hey, Moors.
Hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Chicago, Houston, Dallas, yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors. Hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah,
You better know it.
It's a new day for the Moors.
Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, get in the
Between you and I am the wise, and you never measure up with your household divided. How you gonna teach anybody but you when the people that love you, they don't believe you? Probably think you got jail religion. Need to wash off that stench of prison. Picking up prison, that's all y'all attract. Learn about the children and y'all at that. Gone, scrap that. I ain't even tripping. I show you what happened when the law gives you vision. No government grants and no food stamps. Learn how to build a temple for watching the ants, for watching my prophet and listening to a law. I will be in hell if I listen to y'all. Listen to y'all. Talking to our Moors. Walk around broke. We'll never show for it. Oh! It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. Charlotte, Memphis, Cleveland. I'm gonna let it play out. Hey, it's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah, Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. LA, Syracuse, Buffalo. Stop screaming, bragging about our greatness. 34th generation seed to fakeness. They don't really care about the bill of Nevada. Their primary focus is Gucci, Prada. Who you uplifting? Nothing, nada. Who you uplifting? Nothing, nada. Nothing, nada. Nothing, 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 nada. Can't relate because your mind stays caught up in the past. If you flex, I'm a blast on you and your staff. My young boys coming, they becoming more trained. But before they learn to love, they're susceptible to sin. So watch your slander. They got the hammer, kinda like Peter, protecting Jesus. I'm a Jew, the apostle. Don't get hostile, cause ain't no telling what I do for the gospel. Oh! It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah.
Let me get one more.
It's a new day for the Moors. San Diego, Portland, everybody's getting. Oh yeah. It's a new day for the Moors. Hey Moors, hey Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Oh yeah. Islam. It's a new day for the Moors. East Coast, Midwest, down south, getting. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Time for the Moors to stand up. Stand up. Back 1, 2. We put the feds back in the hood.
We might as well do it like it. Last one.
Check, with a vengeance.
With a vengeance.
And it look good now, don't it? Check 1, 2. Let's own it. Put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Man, I love this. Y'all ready?
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Hey!
Yeah. Let's go.
I'm ready. Hey!
Let's go. Check it. We gonna get this right. One take. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Quran and you can be a god that's on it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Quran and you can be a god that's on it. I used to rock with these temples and the Moors a long way, but they all are super fraud and they not getting away. They want me to keep it quiet. Who I tell it to their face. I'm flipping over tables on my way to the 8. The Hawker Bay said it, now it's time to show and prove it. Got the same address and I ain't planning on moving. The internet got these dope fiends acting around with Dirty Frankie and some mess. They know we can't handle when I pull up and I pull out on 1, 2, 5. Don't be telling me that you 60 when I let that thing rip. Open hand or close fist. Put the veneers on the curb. Put your chin on the back of your neck. And that's my word. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Quran and you can be a god that's on it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Quran and you can be a god that's on it. Let me ask you, who doing it like Tahoe?
We gonna have Qurans available in about 2 weeks.
I am. Huh?
We ran out.
Who doing it like Tahoe Bay? And I shut my mouth. Let's go. I can't wait to see Roy Bay and sit him on his back pocket for the simple fact he disrespected the prophet when he speak. He's embarrassing. He ain't a Moorish American. A camera and carriage him, so I will embarrass him. After that, I dip and take a trip to Carbondale.
Shout out to R.Neal Bey.
Shells, find Yuck Bay, dozing off the Zola, civilize the savage, so she can hate no more. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good, don't it?
Shout out to R.Neal Bey for the interview.
I put the feds back in the hood and it look good, don't it? Get your own Quran.
I give honor where honor is due.
You come up against me, you know you gonna lose. Salt and pepper, gold teeth, floss it all for some views. Grown man wearing rabbit ears, acting like a wild coon. Had a whole squad looking like a buffoon. I'm the man, just admit it. You wanna do it how I did it? Forget it. It's my time now, correct it. Oh yeah, Neal Bey, you late with the court date. Don't make the war.
Come on, Neal Bey. Come on.
The fast back in the hood and it look good now, don't it?
Shout out to Neal Bey, man.
I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Quran and you can be a god. We own it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Quran, you can be a god. We own it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Now get your own Quran, you can be a god. We own it.
Let me real quick give a shout out. You know, me and Neal Bey been going at it for the last few years, but I do want to say I like to give honor where honor is due. I give honor to Neal Bey for putting that timely interview together. I mean, it wasn't a long interview, but it was a timely interview. It wasn't
It was random. It was put together. It was good. People showed up. And I just listened, and without people going out on a limb and asking questions and not scared to ask questions, hey, we ain't gonna be able to get nowhere if they're scared. So if they're not scared, that means that we're gonna make progress. This is one of the best times in Moorish circles, because I'm gonna tell you, right now, you're gonna have to validate what you stand on, because people, liberation, freedom as it relates to spirituality, economics, social, educational, health, everything depends upon you being transparent and legitimate. And if you're not, the people will know. They will know. But there is a group of people that since the time of the prophet been moving sideways. And if they don't mend their ways, they're just going to be exposed more and more, because the truth is here and we have tapped into it. So it'd be best, just like you changed your whole website since I've been doing this. The whole website done changed. Go check out the website. The whole thing done changed. They took down a lot of the information. They took down the information. I'm talking about the ink. They took down the information that I've seen so far. That's I missed it. That the Kirkman Bey went to school with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I exposed that a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, or longer. They took that down. I mean, because you can't show no school that Kirkman Bey went to with the Prophet. And now you need to take down the Canaanite temple thing, because I'm going to prove that the Canaanite temple may not even predate the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. May not even predate the Prophet. May not even. I'm gonna prove that soon. I'm gonna prove that soon, that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I proved it tonight by the letter, but I'm gonna prove it by other receipts at a later date. Period, point blank. So y'all gonna have to change a lot of this stuff, because the young generation, they want the real truth. They don't want your little fable stories. Y'all gonna have to change the story that the prophet went to Saudi Arabia and met some sultan. Y'all gonna have to change the story. Y'all gonna have to change all of these stories now, because the new generations need pure truth. We in the age of Aquarius. That's right. And the golden cord is broken at the cistern. That's right. That's right. The golden cord is broken. We here now. Peace and love, family. See y'all next go around. I'll be uploading at least 2 or 3 videos a week of previous demonstrations that we have done in the temple. A lot of lessons that you would appreciate, and I'm sure you would appreciate them.